Hello guys, this is Becca, and I wanted to give you a review on this product that I received from VIP Cross Stitch. I shared a video about receiving the portfolio that you can put either cross stitch canvases in or your diamond painting canvases, and I showed you this little kit. That's the little pig kit, and I wanted to give a review so far on it, and because this will probably be my last review on it, I wanted to just go ahead and do it and get it over with, because I don't know when or if I'll ever get it complete. Now, no problem, no problem of the company, it's me. I realize now why I stopped cross stitching. When you cross stitch, when you're holding a canvas, whether you have, whether it's a stiff canvas and you can hold it without the cross stitch ring on it, or whether you're using it with the cross stitch, you're holding it like this in your hand with your fingers, and so here you are, and you're holding it, and you're doing your cross stitch, and you're having to hold tight with your fingers and find where to stick your where you stick your needle back in and stuff like that. Well, my eyes are not good, and not only that, not only am I not able to see good to find the holes. Hold on just a minute, I was trying to find that hole. Not only can I not see good to find the holes, but holding this material in my hand and holding this little thin needle with my fingers scrunched up like that, I can't do it. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not going to work on it anymore. I may still take it with me in the living room at night when I do it. Just sit there watching videos, and I can just do a stitch or two and then stop and rest my hands and stuff like that. But when and if I ever get this canvas done, and it's small, guys, it's a very small canvas. So, it's not that it's too much or whatever. It's just me. And I want you to understand that it's no problem with the product itself. It's just me, and I'm not able to do it because of the arthritis. I have arthritis in my hands bad, and my eyes are bad. And excuse me, like I said, I don't know if I will ever get it done. But now, that out of the way, the product itself, this is an awesome canvas. With it being a small canvas, you want kind of a stiff material. Remember, I am kind of experienced in cross stitching. This is not something new for me. I used to cross stitch years ago, and I made all kind of big canvases and things back when I didn't have arthritis and my eyes was okay, and I loved it. But I remember now why, one of the reasons why I stopped cross stitching was because it just got too tough. With the arthritis in my hands, it just got to where I couldn't do it. But as far as the canvas, you want a stiff canvas when you have a small product like this, that you're not going to be using the cross stitch ring or embroidery hoop, whatever it's called, because you want it to be firm and not just flopping all over the place. So the canvas is very, very good quality. Like I said, I'm more experienced in the counted cross stitch than the printed cross stitch. If I'd done printed, it was only like one or two small projects Guys, I'm so sorry about yawning. I cannot understand why I do this when I get on camera. I am so sorry. But anyway, I'm going to try to get through this video without yawning too bad. But if I do, I'm apologizing now. Please forgive me. I'm not going to say excuse me every time. I'll just pause and yawn and go on about my business, because it's every few words that I yawn. And I don't know why. So anyway, the printing on here is very good. I found that, you know, it was a little bit off on the butterflies. They didn't put, like on the big spaces, it's not going to matter because it's a big part. But when it's just one or two little places, if you're going by the printing part itself, if it's not printed exactly on the little squares, you can kind of have a little trouble getting your needle in and finding where where to put your needle. But I find if you will have something white, a good light, something white behind it, and you hold up your canvas, then you can see through those holes and pretty much find where to put your needle. So the product itself is excellent. I would recommend it. The only problem I did have with the product, and I've got to be honest. It came with two little needles. It was in a little Ziploc baggie, and it was stapled right here. So that's what I started out my canvas with. I like the way they have, let's go to the thread. I like the way they have, just the amount of threads you need. They might be a little bit over, but that's in case something happened that, your thread broke or something like that, because running it in and out of those squares here on the canvas can kind of wear out the thread. If you have a real long piece of thread, it can kind of wear it out and it'll break. So they give you a little extra thread to cover that. But everything is marked here. It has the numbers 1 through 21 is how many colors it had. On the back of your pattern, it has your pattern numbers and what, tells you 1 through whatever. On the front here, on your pattern, it has it marked with your symbols. Like it goes 1 through 9, and then it has 0, and then it's A through M is your symbols on here. And you just find, like, the purple part right here is number 1, and that's what I would cross stitch with the number 1 on here. So as far as the thread and the canvas, everything's fine. I like it. I would highly recommend it as far as that goes. And I forgot to put that piece of thread back in that I pulled out a while ago. I'll have to do that off camera. But talking about the needles, is it didn't come with a needle threader as far as this kit. Now you can purchase any extra supplies that you need. You can purchase it on VIP Cross Stitch. So, you can get needle threaders, you can get extra needles, you can get, all kind of things that you would need for cross stitching. They have it there on the site that you can get it. But as far as this particular kit, it didn't come with a needle threader, and this here is the only needle threader I have. And the two needles that was in there, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but this is a pretty thick needle. This is not the needle that they had. I don't know that you're seeing it, but it's a pretty thick needle. It has a pretty good eye on it. But the needles that I had that came with the kit, they were pretty short, and they were so thin. I'm talking about like maybe the size, seriously, maybe the size of these 4 threads together. Seriously, they were very thin. The eye of the needle was so little that I could not thread it without a needle threader. I tried and I tried and I worked till I got so frustrated. Then I got up and come in here and found my needle threader, and I had to just literally, you see how that just went right through there? That just goes right through the eye of that needle. I had to push and push and push to get this little needle threader to go through the eye of that needle. It was so close together that I pushed and I pushed and I worked and I wiggled, and I finally got it wiggled through there enough that I could get my thread hooked over the needle threader, and then I had to wiggle and work to get the thread and needle threader back through the eye of that needle. I worked and I worked, and I finally got it pulled through, but I only threaded, it was 2 needles. I only threaded both of those needles once each, because after forcing this needle threader in there, it broke one side of the needle, apparently, to get it through there, you know, one side of the eye of the needle. And then as I was cross stitching, I made very few stitches, and the whole eye of the needle broke off. And there it was. There was no more eye on the needle. It broke off. So I had to come in here and look through my own needles and find a needle that had a big enough eye on it that I could stick the needle threader through it and get my thread through there, and it threaded where I could cross stitch. So the needles is the only thing I have, you know, with just this one kit. Naturally, I have not seen all their product, but just with this one kit, that is the only thing that I found any flaws in. I love the canvas. I love the printing on the canvas. I love the way they do the thread. The pattern is very clear. It's not hard to read at all. You can see the symbols and everything is very clear. And you have this pattern, when you complete this, you have this pattern if you want to go back and just do counted cross stitch using this pattern. You can make as many of these as you want to using this one pattern. You just go buy you some blank cross stitch canvas material and make you as many of these as you want. So all of that's good. Like I said, the only thing I found flaw in with this, you know, using this one kit was the needles. So I would highly recommend that you go to somewhere like either online or to a physical store, to like a hobby craft store like Joann's or Hobby Lobby or Michael's, and get you some actual cross stitch needles. That way you'll know the eye is big enough, and you'll know that it's sturdy enough to do your cross stitching. Because I went back and looked at just their packs of needles that you could buy, not what come with the kit. Because usually things that comes with the kit is going to be on the lesser side, you know, to keep down price for a kit. That's understandable. So I did go back and look at just the individual needles that you could purchase. Well, to me, they all look like sewing needles. They don't look like cross-stitch needles at all, or embroidery needles. I guess that's more what they look like, is embroidery needles, except for the eyes of them. The eye of the needles are way, way, way too small. And the needle themselves is just so thin you could probably just snap it between your fingers. It's so thin. So my suggestion would be to go to one of the craft stores and get you some actual cross-stitch needles. As far as their prices for their product, excellent. When I showed you the opening of what I got, I also got that portfolio, like I told you. That's excellent. I highly recommend that for cross-stitching or diamond painting. I already had one from another company, and the one from VIP Cross Stitch is just as good, and I really like that. So this is my review. I am sorry, VIP Cross Stitch. I probably will not be getting any more product from them, simply because, not because there's anything wrong with their product. It's just I cannot cross stitch comfortably. It just kills my hands. And that is what their store is about, is cross stitch and embroidery. And they do have like some crochet hooks and knitting needles in there. I don't think they have yarns or anything like that, but they do have the crochet hooks and the knitting needles. But it's mainly a cross stitch store. So that being said, and it being where I'm not able, because of physical problems, that I'm not able to cross stitch, I won't be buying from them anymore. But if you do cross stitch and you enjoy cross stitching, I highly recommend to go check out VIP Cross Stitch. I will have their link in the title, and I'll probably go ahead and put the link to the two products that I received from them, and so you can go check that out and look through their product. So VIP Cross Stitch, if you're watching this video, I'm sorry that I'm not able to do it, or just to save you the problem, there's no need to get in contact with me anymore, because I'm just not able to cross stitch physically, my hands and all. So but guys, I want y'all to know, I do recommend this company. If you can and like to cross stitch, go check it out. Excellent prices, excellent canvases. I love them. All right, I'm gonna get off of here. I will talk with you all later. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Bye.